So one of the things I really can't stand is all the people who talk about how, our moral code in our culture, it doesn't really matter. It's totally subjective because it's just socialization and there's not one absolute standard of what's right and wrong and good and true and beautiful. And we know that for sure because we have all this history and we can look at all these different cultures and we can know that their moral framework and their laws were super different than ours. And so that's just proof that morality's always been different and that we can, change it at our will and it won't make a difference. Now, aside from the abolition of man and all the work that C.S. Lewis did and all the evidence contrary to that, one of the things that really hit me today that I hadn't been really thinking about in this regard was one of the ways that people get away with making that kind of argument is that they'll compare a very strict, like for example, Elizabethan society to late Roman society. And they'll say, oh, look, the Romans were doing X, Y, Z, and in Elizabethan society, that wasn't okay. And I realized it's because they aren't taking into account the cycle of civilizations and how the moral framework at the beginning of the cycle is always much closer to natural law because people are closer to God and full of spiritual faith, and then they decay over time. And that's the cycle that we're going through, is the decay.